Donald Trump has reportedly suggested firing impeachment inquiry witnesses who are working at the White House, effectively what would end their tenure at the White House and send them back to where they came from, so to speak, typically other departments. So as an example, Lieutenant Colonel Alexander Vindman, who testified yesterday, the way that this works is that different employees from different departments are sort of loaned to the White House for specific jobs. And many of the people who have been testifying over the last week, Bill Taylor, for example, they're still working for the government and sometimes for the Trump administration in some way, even if not in the position they held at the time of the Ukraine phone call, which their testimony now focuses on. On the one hand, Donald Trump has been talking about let's fire these people. On the other hand, he doesn't actually seem to know that some continue to work for him in some capacity. And it's truly one of these comedies of errors that seem so common in the Trump administration. Trump lashed out yesterday, for example, at witness Jennifer Williams. Williams works for his vice president, Mike Pence, saying she should read the transcripts. Very strange attacks on someone that works for the government and was employed directly by your vice president. And what's really important to understand is that some of the witnesses appeared voluntarily, but other witnesses appeared under subpoena, as they said. Can you imagine firing someone for responding to a subpoena? In most administrations, it would be unthinkable. In this administration, it seems almost to be the default position to ignore legal constitutional subpoenas. So maybe they actually think people who respond to subpoenas as required by the law are doing something wrong and they deserve to be fired. Very different standards that are applied under the current administration. Another example is once again yesterday's witness, Lieutenant Colonel Alexander Vindman, who confirmed a great portion of the narrative of bribery and extortion that we've heard so far. Vindman is on the National Security Council, sort of on loan from the Defense Department. The idea that's been floated is to fire Vindman from the NSC. But what about firing him from the Defense Department? If he's truly what the Trumpists are portraying him to be, which is a dual loyal, which we'll get to, not credible, whatever, why should he even be allowed to stay at the Defense Department? It doesn't make sense because none of this makes sense. Vindman's lawyer made it clear that Vindman is on the National Security Council until next summer. Whether he will be allowed to stay, we don't know. Now, a reasonable person would say, why would they do this? This makes them look more guilty. This could count as witness intimidation for future witnesses who consider appearing. Why would they do this? This is how Trump operates. He doesn't realize or doesn't care that these obstructive actions call more attention to what he might have done. Your mistake in questioning this strategy is believing that there's a strategy. There is no strategy. These are just Trump's reactions. Trump's behavior and his reflexive reactions and choices make a lot more sense if you think of him not as a president, but more like a mob boss. Then his choices become far more clear. And of course, we'll see what happens. We'll see what repercussions there are for the people who are participating in the impeachment hearings, legal impeachment hearings, individuals who are showing up, including putting themselves and their families at risk, as we will talk about soon. The idea that they are the problem when they are exposing the problem is sickening. But unfortunately, it goes beyond just job threats. And that's what we need to talk about next. One of today's sponsors is privacy.com/Pakman. This is a free service that I've actually been using myself for a while now, and I love it. You just take a few seconds to link your debit card or bank account to privacy.com's mobile app or browser extension for Firefox and Chrome. And what that does is allow you to instantly create virtual credit cards that are linked to your bank account so that you're not actually putting your real debit card number on the internet. And you use these virtual credit card numbers to buy things online. And with one click of a button, you have the ability to create multiple virtual cards, delete cards, freeze and unfreeze cards. You can put a limit on a card so a company won't be able to charge you more than you actually want them to. And it protects you from being hacked. It protects you from companies being hacked, which we've been talking about for a while on the program. And it's perfect for signing up for free trials somewhere if you don't want your real credit card number to be exposed and on file. And their app and browser extension let you autofill the virtual credit card number into the credit card field when you're buying things online. There are a ton of different advantages to shopping and paying bills with a system like this. Everything is totally secure and encrypted. And in some situations, you can earn 5% cash back on your purchases. It's all completely free. All you have to do is click the link under this video to get started. And for a limited time, everybody in our audience who signs up gets $5 towards your first purchase when you sign up using that link below.